incorporate power, enormous proportions in big money, and that's where the money is. That's where the military-industrial complex is. My work will wash over, they think, and will disappear. Memory is the thread of civilization. Those who remember, those of you who remember my work, that is the only way for me to exist through time. My spirit was bowed many times by failure, but it's not given up. I feel part of the reason I'm doing this untold history is because of, frankly, it's because of anger and defiance, and a sense that injustice is getting worse, and I can do something about it by passing on and educating the younger generation.
I will ask a second question, and then I will turn it over to the audience. You are a decorated veteran of the Vietnam War, and the world has changed so much since you made some of your films on Vietnam. And I don't know if you've been to Vietnam recently, but how have your views changed with regard to the U.S.-Vietnam relationship? And if you were to make a film today on Vietnam, what might be different about it as opposed to the first three films?
Well, I think I've been back to Vietnam several times, and I think it's a lovely, amazing country, very resilient people. They have forgiven us if we have not forgiven them. We did not recognize Vietnam for some 30 years. Clinton recognized them finally in 1997. But the devastation in Vietnam is enormous. And what amazes me again, going back, is although not in the older people, but the younger people have moved on. It's an amazing transformation considering the amount of chemical pollution in the country and the damage to the landscapes and the rivers. And they really have pulled out of it. It's obviously a Chinese type of economy with the government and controlled state, but they have tremendous youth and vigor. But on the other hand, the United States have not learned from Vietnam. We have forgotten about Vietnam. Noam Chomsky said it the best. I think he said, the truth is the United States achieved its goals in Vietnam, although the public perception, the common delusion is that Vietnam taught America a lesson and the United States was defeated in Vietnam. He said, no, we wrecked the place. Our lesson to the world was don't fuck with us. We completely annihilated this place practically. We took it to the edge of extinction. The fact is that the people were extremely resilient and managed like ants to survive in the rubble and make their way back into some form of capitalist civilization. Doesn't mean that we lost. It means that we won. And it's a horrible victory to have, but it was a tremendous lesson to the world. At the same time, it taught the tyrants and the dictators of various countries in the world that the United States was only so good for so much, but that they wouldn't back anybody, whether it was the dictator in Indonesia. They dump him if they had to. The United States will dump any dictator it has to when push comes to shove, including the most recent one in Egypt, Mubarak.